Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influence's interest on YouTube.
This is Influence, and I'm back with a review of Magic Square's B12 and B13 Pillage and Contain, which is Dragstrip and Dead End, their final two Stunticons. You get a fair amount in the box. So off the bat, you got the box, got the nice art, kind of G1. Got some tech specs for Dragstrip. Yeah, that's Dragstrip. You got all of the picture. This was norm box. Then you got Dead End over there. You know, I don't refer to them as their third-party names a lot, but sometimes I do. You get these cards. Nice cards. Nice artwork. Tech specs. I'm not into cards, as I usually let you know. But that doesn't mean that they're not nice and like credit card stock. It's just nice if you're into those cards. Got one page directions and no directions to turn them into the limbs. That's all in Motormasters. So I will get into that, of course, when I do Motormaster, which will probably be the next video, maybe after this. I'm not sure. I'm going on vacation this week. So I'm trying to do all these videos this weekend and maybe space them out or maybe just put them all up at once. It depends. I just want to have them filmed so I can figure out what I'm going to do. So there's some content for next week. And yeah, I'm not really going to get a chance to fool with these, but it'll be something I can do when I get back. So yeah, you got the two guns. This is Dragstrip's gun, which is not painted, and it's just black plastic. This one too isn't painted in black plastic. There are different sculpts. Drop that. There are different sculpts, so that's nice. But I wonder why they didn't paint those or have them in different colored plastic like the others. But it's okay, it doesn't matter. And here's the two guys. I'm doing them both together. I could do them separately, but it came together. And sometimes when stuff comes together, I'll do it together. Just for the sake of, since these aren't too super complicated, I will do them together. These are, I believe, the shoulder pads. I didn't even have a chance to really look at the directions that came with Motormaster to see. I know these were on, I think they're the toy version, the things on the side, the boxes on the side of his head. But they also, I believe, don't quote me, they go on the sides on the arms to cover up. So it's not like a space when you want the cars hanging off the shoulders. So there's like 3 configurations of Menasor, and we'll get into that with the full Menasor review. Right now, I'm just going to deal with these, but I'll talk about it a little bit. There's 3 configurations, and one of the configurations have the cars just hanging off the arms and not really a part of the arms at all. And I think these cover up the gaps that are in the arms where the cars usually go. I think the other 2 configurations are, of course, the cars stuck on the side, and then you can even use the cars as the actual arms where they're not, there's no arms. It's just cars and fists. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to go through all 3 modes. Now let's get to the main event, which is, and I'm losing my Band-Aid. Yeah, I was saying, you really take your fingers for granted, especially in the hobby we are in, man. Anyway, you got the cars. Let me get the 360 popping. You see, it's nice. Got the headlights or the tail lights, tail lights painted, headlights painted. Got these lights painted, wheels, nice paint right here. This is a little flat, probably plastic, and the wheels are plastic. Got the little exhaust. These spoilers also came unattached, and I see why, because these came in robot mode. Of course, I'm doing it from the opposite way that they came, and it was hard to attach these. Now, my first complaint, just mentioning it, it's not a deal breaker for me because I won't be transforming these often. But if you transform these a lot, I do know there's a lot of playability with legends and a lot of people mess with them back and forth. This seems to not be one that I would want to mess with. The other ones were more better tolerance, but what I'm saying is these, all of the pegs seems like, even on Dragstrip, all of the pegs seem too big for the peg holes. Like, this was a mess. That's why it's up here. I could probably get it better. If my finger wasn't hurt, it probably would be easier. But this is like way thicker than the space. You could always shave some off, but for one, I hate doing stuff to my figures. Like, it should come how it should come. I do stuff, but I hate especially shaving, because if you shave too much, then it's going to be loose. Now, I don't know if that'll matter because it's a lot of stuff here that's pegged together. But there's also a peg in here. And I think that's par for the course for this character. Transformation is really interesting. Now, let's see Dragstrip. Dragstrip is nice. I really like him. I think he's my favorite one. I think because it's different. Got the spoiler, got the exhaust in the back. I really like what they did. Got the different paints, kind of like a goldish brown paint with the red stripes, and then the yellow, of course, the yellow. The engine block. I really like some of the things. The wheels are plastic, of course. And yeah, again, I don't know how much. There's some tolerances on here. That's not great. Right there was kind of hard to get into. These were terrible. Like, this is so thick compared to what the space is. This here too, which is why it's a little less. Well, I think I closed it all the way, because if you don't close it all the way, then you get a space here, because it's just like over under tabs. It's not really connected. It's just friction. And these, unfortunately, aren't big. They just fit in this space. But it's a great representation. So I think they roll well. These spoilers, I think I was saying they come separate. And I see why, because they come in robot mode. Both of them come in robot mode. And when you transform, I'm interested, because I never transformed it back. So I'm interested in seeing how this fares, because it's wider than where you put the leg. But these legs do slide. They come out like the other ones. And so let's get into transformation. There's some tight tolerances as well in the transformation. Let's do Dragstrip first. Pull these legs down. The thing is, you got to get this up, and it could be difficult. You can actually move it like that and then get something in here. Poke that up. That goes up there. Now you got room to pull these legs down. Now these legs are up when you get it, and you might not realize it, or you might. I do get a little wobble in the leg, which isn't great, and it's in both legs. And I believe it's just because of that slider. I think you can see it somewhere. Oh, I think the slider is underneath here. So then I turn this around, because now this is the front. You want to move this down and up, because it's now the leg. And when you move these out, you see the exhaust automatically goes in because it's part of the leg. I think it's little stuff like that that separates Legends, the fun factor of Legends, and some of the cool transformations that they come up with. So then you move this on the double hinge right here, and it goes under just like his normal look. Then you can turn him around and get this together. You just move this down here. It kind of acts as a heel spur. I think it's great. This is what I was talking about. That pin is where it slides up and down. It may be because of that. I don't know. Let me move him out the way. Sorry. trouble focusing. But I don't know. So this is the legs. Now you got the legs done. This tab's in right here, right here. They're not too bad. The tabs right here aren't too bad. So you can pull them out. And you see here, this, I hope you can hear that. You got to excuse the people outside. They're weed whacking. So this slides out like that. And this slides out like this. Because when it came, it was slid in. So I think this is arm. I couldn't tell because it didn't say anything in the direction. You know, directions is not like how you should have it. But you want these tabs out right there and just pull this down as usual. This tab is pretty, I don't see no stress marks, but it's pretty big compared to that space. So you move this down, and with this out, you should be able to get, yeah, you can. Like this goes all the way on his back. When it comes, it's like this, and it looks weird because these are pushed in. But I believe in robot mode, they should be out on that slider. And then this will fit in that little cavity, just enough to get this all the way to the back. Then you want to pull his arms out a little bit. The hands, you see it has that little space. It can only go one way, so that's good. You can't get it confused. Then you just turn this around like this. Get it, as I say, anatomically correct. And then you move this down to where you need it. Got that side done. Same over here. I'll just move this down now. Move that down. Pull this out. Spin this around. And then spin the hand around. You can only go one way. And there you go. You have drag strip. So I think he looks great. Move the camera down a little bit. These guys are some little guys, so more straight angle. You see his head sculpt. The 360 of him. I think he's pretty clean. Besides the big backpack, that's the nose cone, but he always has that. I would have liked if this folded up, but I'm just really like splitting hairs, I guess. But yeah, I think he's great. He's clean. There's Dragstrip. All right, let's get him into transformation now. So he's a little more complicated, but not really. You just got to figure out what to do first. What I do first is the back. I think that's the best way to start. You move this down here, because then you can get this out, these sides. Move that out like that. Same way over here. Move that out like that. Then you want it like that. So now I'm going to work on this. I just want to get that out of there. Again, this is super hard coming this way. Maybe it won't be, but there's stress marks all around it because those pegs. And maybe you should shave them. I might do that. I don't know. I might not even bother because, like I said, I'm not going to have him in any type of mode. Then what you want to do, I think you should do that last when you're going to car, because you can pull this out. And that way it helps with the spoiler, with getting the spoiler around. So you pull this out, or getting this around the spoiler, I should say. There's a peg here that I waited to the last to do. Therefore, I was, let me see if I can get it out. If you see, it's on this double hinge. So I waited till the end to double hinge this in. Maybe you want to wait till you have it like this to when you're going into this mode to double hinge it down, then it'll be easier. Me, I had it up and I had everything together, and then I tried to double hinge this and this peg was in the way. Even, you know, even if you just have this out, it creates a better space. So you move this out, have this down and it makes that L. You know, I think it pegs in. Yeah, it has a peg there, hole there. That peg is fine. That's a great peg. That's how you want it to fit. Unfortunately, all of them are not like that. So then you get this out, move this down, fit it in there like that. These are automatic, like they go in the front like that, and they automatically go where they need to go. Now you want to move this around. You want to get this out because it curls around the hands. But then you want to move it down as you see and move this foot out. As you see, this spoiler's in the way, which is, I'm suspecting that's why it was off. Because it's just hard to get around that. So you want to move the foot like this. You can get around it though. This is how you get around it. But you might want to take it off because you got to flex it around. And I don't know if this foot is easier to flex like this. Maybe you can. Oh, I don't know. I can say this is loose too. Super loose. That's not great. Let me see if you do this. Man, yeah, it is an issue to get this spoiler around here. I thought it was going to be easier. Make sure I got the foot right. Yeah, I do got the foot right. I think it's just easier to take these off, and I may just leave them off. I like how the car looks without them. I mean, it's not accurate, but what you gonna do? So now with that off, it's simple. You just move that down here and then peg that in here. There's a peg there. And you just slide it. So yeah, I suggest you just take that off. You can always try to get it around it, but it's not really worth trying to do that. Doesn't add anything to the robot. So you got the legs done. Yeah, these ankle rockers are super actually annoying. They're loose. Now this is similar. You just want to pop this up. All this is tight and it's not really that great of a fit. My man, he really out there getting it. That's my neighbor. So you pull this back and then you pull this all the way down, pull this all the way down. And then there's not a lot of room because this blocks this. Let me see. Can you move this? No, you can't move that. You can turn this head around too. I don't think I showed that. Like it's just up under here. I don't think I showed the underneath. Sorry about that, but my bad. But yeah, the head is underneath, like it's just pointing like that, and you can always turn it around. It is tight. I always fear turning the heads because it's just so tight. But then you want to bend this up on this hinge. It's a hinge there. Bend that up, and that's where you want it. Then there's a hinge there. You bend that up. That's where you want it. Then you plug this into back here. And it keeps all that locked. Now, home free. Just pull that out. Got the bend in the arm. Pull that out. Got the bend in the arm. And here you go. 360. Think he's clean. I mean, you got the big backpack, but it doesn't. It kind of looks like the body. For Legends, I mean, you can't ask for much more. I don't think, personally. To me. That's my opinion. So, yeah, that's just it in. All right. Like the colorization. It's So let's take a look at both of them together. Put his gun in his hand. Now the hands are a problem for me. I don't want to fool with them because I'm afraid I'm going to shear and we can get an articulation. It's not a lot. I mean, it is a lot. It's not bad, but I mean, they're small. So while I'm discussing articulation, I will talk about some of the shortcomings. So yeah, the head can move all the way around. You see, it's really tight, but it's not too bad. It doesn't feel like you're going to shear the ball joint off. Earlier, I did feel like that. Maybe it got loose. Had the arms up this high. Of course, they move all the way around. Backpack does get in the way a little bit. You got 90 degrees on the elbow bend. No double jointed. This is super tight. I'm not going to move it because it feels like I'm going to shear that off. It's so tight. Maybe it can move. Maybe it'll get loose. Again, hands are fixed, but are also the same way. I can't get it out of this position. I probably can if I try, but I don't want to try because it feels like I'm just going to shear the hand off, which wouldn't be a super big deal because it's hidden in here in car mode and I'm going to have these combined. But still, it's worth mentioning and showing. What I think is smart of them, they cut a little diagonal in the gun. So when you have it, it almost goes all the way up, where it's not like if it was square, it would be blocked like right here. Like as soon as you put it up, you can only get it that far. So that way you can get it up a little bit farther. It doesn't go to full 90-degree bend, but still. You got waist swivel. You don't really have a pivot. It's just at the top because there's no skirts. You get the splits. They hold pretty well. You get the hurdles. Again, friction. They hold pretty well. This joint wants to come out because you get side to side, because when you can use this as the full combine mode, as the full arm, that's what happens. And you have this, not double jointed. You get 90 degrees just about. You have the bottom. This peg is great. You can't really see it because it's black plastic. And it's flat at that. So you have a little bit of swivel up here, not much, but then you have the mushroom peg down below. That's more. Then the foot, you can get up like that. You can get down. It's on a ball joint. No, it's on a hinge type thing. Then you can get it all the way rock like that. So again, pretty good articulation. And tolerances, except for them few, are pretty good. Just what I said the tolerances are. Then you have this guy. His head is the same. His head's a little bit tighter. The ball joint does look bigger. However, I mean, it might be the same. It might just be his head. But then you move his arms all the way around. He gets up to here. He doesn't get the full motion because his head's in the way and he has all this stuff. Now, no, you can't do anything because it's the bar that the wheels are hooked on. There you go. Get 90 degrees. Of course, his hands spin actually one way because of the way he transforms. Oh, he spins a little bit out. That's good. His bicep, his isn't as tight, so his bicep can do fine. Waist, not a bend again, but there, no skirts. Out to the side, friction, which is fine. It's tight friction. Get the hurdles, which is fine. Tight friction. Not double jointed. Knee. You get the same articulation up here. You get his toe like tilt, and you can move it down all the way. Then it's up. It also can move like this, and you can move this with it to give it the simulation. It's not all together, and you can even move this. So it's the heel spur. So you can get it all over. But everything moves separate. I think that's good. I like that better when stuff works out like that, because then you can get it exactly how you want it. And I did down and up. Did that. Yeah, so that's it. So I think that's the conclusion of this video, of this review. Again, the Stunticons, I think they're great looking. You can see them next to the body. I think they look nice. Like I like the scale. Like he looks like he should be that big compared to those robots. Yeah, I don't really have them. They're on here, so I couldn't really compare them. Maybe I will after I do the video. I will show them all separate. I don't know. All right, then. Thank you for joining me for this review, and I will get up with you in the next video. You know, do what you do on YouTube, and thanks again. Peace.
Ain't over. Life ain't over. Life ain't over. Life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.